officially live on all 5 platforms. So appreciate you guys being patient with me as I got those things rolling. Thank you again for joining. Hey, Gus, appreciate you stopping by. Welcome back, everybody. This is your boy Broker J3. I'm holding it down solo tonight on the J&B Live podcast. Dr. B, she's out tonight, but don't worry, I got you guys covered. Tonight's episode is going to be a little wild. On one side, Donald Trump, he's wobbling down the red carpet with Putin, clapping his hand like a proud little fanboy. And on the other side, we got Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They're breaking streaming records and showing the world what influence really looks like. So basically, it's two different vibes, and we're going to get to both. So you know what, guys? Let's talk about it. First, we're going to talk about this Trump on this red carpet. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put him on just so you guys can see uh, what I'm talking about. Um, get you guys in there real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and put him on in there. Give me just a moment, guys, while I add him on in. Yeah, guys, this is something special here. This guy is something special. I mean, really, really special. Sometimes I wonder, I wonder about this guy and how how we allowed all this foolishness to happen, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and get him on in here so you guys can see how he was walking on the carpet today. It was kind of really weird. I've never seen nothing like that before. With something so crazy like that. Um, you guys wouldn't believe it. Let me go ahead and add him in. Get you guys started. Y'all got to be patient with me just a little bit because this is something pretty new to me with the platform. So I appreciate you guys being patient as I get this going. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, guys. I'm gonna run this here and talk you guys through what's going on. Okay. Just to let you guys know. Okay. Trump he met President Putin, of the Russian president in Alaska. Now he already caught a lot of flack already from the Alaskans, booing him and saying that they don't want him in their state. They don't want him having this meeting with Putin. But it is the weirdest thing in the world, guys. First, let's talk about Trump. Did y'all really see that red carpet walk? Now, for some of y'all that didn't, pay attention. He's getting ready to walk on this carpet. Man looks like a toddler, trying to keep balance after spinning around at a birthday party. He swayed right, left, like he was fighting invisible waves or something. I thought the Secret Service was about to, pull out a walker with tennis balls, on it just to help him finish that carpet walk. Now, guys, pay close attention now. He's finna get ready to start the walk. Now, if you notice, look at Putin. He's walking pretty firm, straight, upright, moving pretty brisk. And then if you guys take a look at Donald Trump, you see he's just, he's walking like real slow, like he's looking down, like he's trying to make sure he get his footsteps together. Now it's funny, and we can talk about and laugh about his wobble walk, over the top clapping and all that stuff. But it's also sad, when we think about the Americans at home struggling to pay their bills, high rent, groceries, and the cost of, more than car payments, and our former president is out here, doing his Putin shuffle like it's a TikTok trend. It's real funny because Trump is like a little kid at Christmas morning. Now look, now he's waiting on He's waiting on Putin. And I want you to guys pay attention to what he starts doing when Putin starts getting close. This is really crazy. It's like it's the weirdest thing in the world. When I saw it, I said, I can't believe this. Look, he started clapping so hard, just clapping like he thought his hands was about to catch on fire. He got excited. It reminded me of that Eddie Murphy movie scene in Nutty Professor when the lady was like, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. That was Trump today, clapping for Putin, like he just invented sliced bread or something. It's really crazy. Now picture this, guys. You're at home, rent overdue, the fridge is empty, and your light's about to get cut off. But on the TV, Trump out here clapping like he just saw Michael Jackson moonwalk for the first time. Do you join in with clapping him, or do you clap your hands together in prayer and ask God to send you a miracle? I know which one you guys are picking. Now let's get back to this handshake. Lord have mercy. Trump grabbing Putin's hand like it was the last drumstick at Thanksgiving dinner. I said, is this a handshake or a hostage negotiation? His face looked like he was concentrating harder than a kid trying to spell Mississippi in a spelling bee. It was ridiculous. And Putin looked back at him like, what is this fool doing? The whole thing was awkward. It was awkward. It was weird. It was kind of cringy a little bit. It looked like a deleted scene from a buddy comedy called Love, when dictators fall in love. You know, it was just absolutely crazy to me, guys. And I really couldn't understand, um, you know, I really couldn't understand this personally myself. And like I said, and listen, we can laugh about it. I did, but here's the serious side. Trump was supposed to represent America's strength, you know. Instead, he was looking like a fan hoping for an autograph. Meanwhile, regular people here at home are fighting real battles: gas prices, food costs, medical bills, overdue rent. While he's out here holding hands like it's prom night. The American people are holding on to hope that somebody in leadership will actually care. And that's the part where the comedy ends. I wanted to share that with you guys because it was something that was funny to me, and I couldn't help but laugh about it when I saw it because I couldn't believe it. Him stumbling across the red carpet, and him so excited, to be able to see Putin again and hold his hand, like he's worshiping the dictator. You know, now, now let's talk about something that's more interesting. Something that to get off of the madness of Trump. Okay, let's talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, how they broke records. Now we're switching gears back to something light because while Trump was wobbling and clapping for Putin, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were out here breaking records, y'all. Their podcast just shattered streaming numbers, well over 1.5 million views. Now that's superstar status. Now I can tell you right now, I can't get a couple of hundred people to come on here at one time. Of course, we're still a new podcast, so we know it takes time. Now, Taylor presence alone can bring in a crowd. We know that. She doesn't even have to even say anything. Basically, all she really has to do is just show up. She has that kind of presence. Well, all she has to really do is just show up. And then here come the Swifties by the millions. Oh my God. She's like the Beyonce of podcast streams, something major, guys, like real major, something serious. Um, and Taylor, if you're listening, Taylor Swift, if you're listening, come sprinkle a little of that Swifty magic on the J&B podcast. Help your boy Broker J3 and Doc B shatter a record or two. We'll appreciate that so much. All right, guys. Now, here's another scenario for you guys. Let me see if I can get you guys to see that that yeah. Now this was the video that was going on today when they were showing about how she was breaking the records. Now imagine this, guys. Taylor Swift does a random podcast about her cats, and within 24 hours, it has 10 million views. Meanwhile, me and Talk B could title the episode, "We Found the Secret to Living Forever," and we might get 10 views or less. Taylor reposted, and the Swifties, we need y'all to adopt us too. Take us in. Can I get a little Broker J3 chant going on like y'all do for Taylor? Just once for the culture, guys. I appreciate that. Now, let's wrap this up, with Taylor for the bigger picture, guys. For a lot of you guys out there that admire Taylor Swift and her boo, Kelce. Now, sometimes I think Taylor would make a better president than the one we got right now. At least the press conferences would come with a soundtrack and people would actually leave happy. All right. Now, Taylor and Travis are proof that influence, when used the right way, can unite people and create moments that matter. Now, here's my final thought of the day in regards to uh, the two topics that I discussed today. Y'all know today really showed us two different types of influence, okay? That's what it was all about. On one side, you got Trump wobbling down the red carpet like he's on a cruise ship in a storm, clapping for Putin like Hercules, Hercules. That's fandom. You know what I mean? That's embarrassing, actually. And it shows how far some leaders will go to impress the wrong person, while ignoring the people who actually need them. The American people need a president that cares about them, not somebody who's so influenced by a dictator. Now, on the other side, you got Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, breaking records. 1.5 million people tuning in, Lord have mercy, smiling, laughing, and connecting. Now, that's real influence. That's joy, guys. So here's the funny truth. If Trump wants to clap for Putin, that's fine. That's his thing. But I'd rather clap for Taylor Swift because at least she's giving the world something to celebrate instead of something to cringe at. And maybe, okay, just maybe, we need less crooked red carpet walks and more paths that pave people who actually unite us. Laugh at the clown that shows if you must, but don't miss the light when you see it. You know what I mean? Because one leaves you shaking your head and the other leaves you clapping with a smile. Well, guys, that's it for me tonight. I appreciate you guys joining in. Make sure you follow us on all social medias at Live with J and B. And again, we were streaming live tonight on Bigo Live, TikTok, uh, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We're also, for our audio listeners out there, we appreciate you guys. We don't forget about you guys as well. Just search for J&B Live Podcast and you'll find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast listen enjoyment, we are there. Guys, I enjoyed you guys stopping by tonight. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to me tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm your boy Broker J3, and tonight it was just me. But as always, let's talk about it. Love you.